All right, so let's dive right into the intro here to Hot for Teacher. Now, it's going to start with just a general pick scrape. Just use the edge of your pick down the sixth string kind of thing. And while you're doing that, you just kind of lead your hand, your hand down here to start the tapping figure that starts. So as you're coming down, now Eddie Van Halen actually holds his pick at all times between his thumb and his middle finger, and then so that allows him to do that, and then go right into tapping with his first finger. I actually do the tapping in this song with my second finger. It's really it's up to you which way you want to tap with your first finger, which Eddie does when he does single finger tapping at least. It's just usually all first finger because he has that available because he uses his other two fingers to pick. If you want to still hold your pick like a normal between your thumb and first finger and still tap with the first finger, well, a thing that I like to do when I'm going to use my first finger after that scrape or whatever, you can take the pick and actually put it in between the middle joint of your middle finger, between this tip joint and this one. Just place right in there, and you can hold it right there. And a lot of players hold that pick right there, between there. And it's very easy to go back and forth once you get the handle. So I'm holding the pick between the finger, then I got it picked normal. You just get it back and forth, so where you can just kind of switch, and then you can just switch right to a tap and come back. So you're so used to it, you don't realize you're doing it. So, but anyway, that's a way of keeping it so you can actually tap on it with your first finger if you wanted to. But let's get into the actual part here. So the tapping part is going to be, it's kind of the same figure. It's actually not that, it sounds a lot more difficult than it is, which is, which is always nice. So we're going to start this with a tap at the 12th fret. Now the tapping in this intro, the whole thing, everything that you ever tap is going to be at the 12th fret. So I'm going to tap here, and then I'm going to pull off to the open string. So that happened on the 5th string. Tap on the 12 on the 5, pull off to the open, then hammer on the 3rd fret of that string with your first finger, then hammer on the 7th fret. So we have this. Then we actually start the true pattern. The true pattern that we're going to be doing is this. You're going to tap 12, pull off to 7, pull off to 3, pull off to the open string, come back to the 3 with the first finger, and then back to the 7. So we have this. So we just started the figure leading into it like that, but then we continued repeating this after that. So after 4 times of that, okay, so when we do this, the 4th time, we pull off, but instead of coming back to 3 and 7, we actually hammer on, we move up to 5 and 9. So we go. So it's going to be the exact same figure now here at 5 and 9. So we have this. Okay, now let's take it and do the same thing on the 4th string, I'm sorry. Now, if you could just listen to a recording and see how many times it kind of does everything, it just sounds like this. So that last one, I didn't do the full 4. On the middle of the 3rd one, I just did that tap, and then held it on that 9th fret and just kind of put some vibrato on it. Okay? So that takes care of the first 2 strings there. Then we moved everything to the 3rd string. And we do like the same pattern, but instead of doing it 4 times, we do it twice on each one. We still do that startup pattern, which counts as 1. Then, and just jump back and forth between those 2, doing each one twice, like this. And on that last one, we don't do the full 2. We just after we get up, we do that same thing. We come all the way up 5, 9, hammer 12, and then pull off on that 9 and vibrate it. So we have the whole thing. So all right, then we're going to end it with this kind of descending lick, which we're going to start by doing a quick hammer on from nowhere on the 5th fret, 1st string, then 7, 8. So okay, that's one of those little lead-in things again. Then we get to the true lick of the piece, which you want to just think that it's going to be repeated across strings, which is this. Tap at 12. By the way, when you're tapping, you can flick it downward or flick it upward. I kind of like flicking upward. I had a time in my playing, many years ago that I did a lot of 8-finger tapping before I had to grow all the nails out, and then and that requires you to kind of pull up, kind of towards your face. So, but most people tap and flick it downwards. So just do whatever's comfortable to you. Anyway, so you can tap. So when you get up here, this 5, 7, 8, tap 12. Pull off to 8, 7, 5, and then come over to the 2nd string and hammer on from nowhere without picking anything with your pinky at the 8th fret. So we have this. Then we start that same lick. Come over to the 2nd string and do the same thing. Set up all 3 fingers here and tap. And come over to the 3rd string of that hammer on. And then start from the 3rd string tap. And then the 4th string. And then you're going to tap this and slide it down. Just those last 3. 12, 8, 7, 5. So we have this. Eddie Van Halen does a lot of that kind of stuff, where he takes something that's not really in any particular key. He takes a shape that he likes and just runs it symmetrically across the neck. So then we get down, as you come all the way down, that last pull off, you grab the 2 middle strings, 2 and 2 with a bar. We're getting into where the band kicks in here. And then reach over and grab this F sharp, and this is a fast shuffle feel like. Okay, so you're pounding on that F sharp down there, palm muted. Come up here with the 5th fret on the 2 middle strings, 4th and 3rd. Pick that, and then come down to the 4th. So we have this. And then come back down and hit another one of these. And then come to the 1st fret bar at the 2 middle strings. Then the 2nd fret. You can use your 2nd finger or move up like this if you want. Do that twice. And then pick the 1 and slide into the 2 with those 2 middle strings still. So I'm just holding the bar across the 2 middle strings. And then back down to here to the low C's, low F sharp. So we have this. A little bit slower. Okay, and then after coming down that F sharp a little bit more, come all the way up here to the 10. 2 middle strings, 10. I use a 3rd and 4th finger on those. And then 7. And then 4. So every 3 frets. So staying on those 2 middle strings, and then that same figure. 1 and 2, the 1 bar, and then the 2 bar on the 2 middle strings. And then just do it once, and then slide from 1 to 2 again. To get back down to F sharp. So we have this. And then back to the 5 and then the 4. The same figure. So we have this. And then we're going to just end it with it's an E sus4 chord. So that's just like an E minor chord. These 4 bottom strings, but you're going to add this A on the 2nd fret, 3rd string. And that takes us into the actual verse. So here's that whole section from when the band comes in after the tapping part. All right, and then we head on to the verse.